Good evening. My name is Edna Rivera, and I am the author of the book Pregnancy The Best Time to Submerge Your Baby in Prayer, and the founder and pastor of the ministry Forming a New Generation. Forming a New Generation is a community based ministry where, on a weekly basis, we pray for the baby while still in the womb. We receive pregnant women and pray for them individually based on their week of pregnancy. We do this at my church, Iglesia Cristiana Ciudad Fuerte in Calley, Puerto Rico, and my pastor is Juan Ramon Agosto. Every Monday at 7:30 in English and at 8 o'clock in Spanish, I do these live videos to share with you some research on the topic of pregnancy, on prenatal memory, and also relate it always to the Bible. We have reached week 40, and as I had promised you last week, today we will have someone with us. We have invited someone to be with us. So I'm going to let her in. I'll introduce her. She's not fluent in English, so we will be doing some translating, and also she'll be just sharing some thoughts as we work together.
Hi.
Hello, Astrid.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Astrid is a professor of the University of Puerto Rico. She has a master in nursing with a specialty in maternity and pediatrics, and she's also certified by the board in lactation. Okay, so we're happy to have her with us in the day today. So
Good.
let's first of all kind of review. We've been talking about that wonderful day when your baby is about to come into your arms, where you need to get ready, okay? I was talking with Astrid and we were just kind of reviewing your birthing plan, things that were very important for you to plan before that date. By now, you should have answered all those questions. But today, we're going to be looking specifically at breastfeeding, okay? We are looking for the best for your baby. So, ideally, your baby should be in the room with you. Your baby should stay in the room with you. Your baby should be placed on you immediately. Just imagine for a moment that you got on an airplane and you travel to Russia, okay? And they drop you off there. You don't know anybody, you don't know the language. How would you feel? That would cause a lot of stress in you. Well, this baby had been in the womb, had everything perfect, and all of a sudden, he comes out into a cold delivery room with voices that he had never heard. How much stress is that baby initially receiving? We don't think about these things, but we do need to start thinking because it will leave an impact in his prenatal memory. So plan for the best. Plan that your doctor will be sensitive, that your doctor is up to date on the research, and you will be able to have your baby placed directly on you. We trust that you will have a healthy baby and he will not have to go into intensive care. But if you go and you do some research on the Touch Institute, what research has shown us is that babies that are in intensive care, whose parents stay with them, whose parents hold them, whose parents touch them. These babies leave the hospital at an earlier date than those that do not receive this support. Look at the research and fight for the best services for your baby. Now, breastfeeding. Let's go into breastfeeding. Those were the things you needed to research on, okay? That was just a review. Research on breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is more than just providing nutrition. Only 10% of breastfeeding has to do with nutrition. The other 90% has to do with neurological connections that are taking place in the baby's brain. 40,000 connections take place every second in the baby. So, just for a moment, think when you are breastfeeding, the baby is in contact with your skin, the smell of your body, that look of love, the familiar heartbeat. All these are provoking connections in the baby's brain that are contributing to your baby's social emotional development. You're not feeding food, you're feeding love, you're feeding the future. Am I right, Astrid? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you, and I'm just okay seeing that I have lipstick smeared all over me. Okay, I'm gonna show some slides and maybe comment them with Astrid. Okay, about the breastfeeding process. Okay, now let's see. Oh, and I forgot. I have to get my phone out for those of you that are on Instagram, and it's only for this week. Next week we'll have this solved so you can be all part of it. Okay, and now you can see history. Okay, now let's go to. Mhm. Let's see, share screen. Okay. Okay. So what do we have here? We have here a baby 10 minutes after birth. The baby was placed between the mother's breasts. After a few minutes, the baby begins to maneuver, moving and making small push-ups, first towards his mother's left breast.
Mhm.
He frequently stops to rest and suck on his fists and fingers. He hasn't been bathed. Astrid,
Ujú.
¿por qué se detiene a chuparse la mano si no la han bañado y tiene todavía el olor del cuerpo?
Ciertamente las manitas del bebé huelen a líquido amniótico
Okay,
y el pezón huele y sabe a líquido amniótico.
so the baby is sucking on his hands because the smell of the amniotic liquid in which he was is something familiar to him. And the same thing is with the mother's breast. The same smell is there, something which will give him peace. With push up, he moves towards the right breast 30 minutes later. ¿Quieres comentar algo de ahí?
Sí, ese bebito se va acercando poquito a poco e inclusive el pezón se pone bien negro. Aún la mamá que es negra, el pezón se pone más negro
Okay, dame un
para
segundo.
también orientar al bebé.
Okay, so the baby is moving towards the breast, and at the same time, the mother's breast, the nipple gets darker. Even if you have dark skin, the nipple will get darker to lead the child, to give him an orientation towards where he should be moving. ¿Sigue?
Ujú. Hasta que el bebé va encontrando poquito a poco esa orientación entre sus manos, el toque, el color de la piel, sin que haya prisa. Importante que no lo obliguemos, que sea un espacio instintivo de piel a piel.
Okay. So the baby will, with the way God made him, okay? God prepared him. So he will move. His instincts will take him to move in the right direction. Familiar with the taste and the smell of the amniotic liquid, he continues to work his way towards that nipple, okay? He moves, okay, towards that area, which is darker, which is giving him the direction in which to move.
El bebito va moviéndose poquito a poco,
Ay,
se va.
perdón, wait. She said something very important that I did not translate, and it was really important. She was saying, this is a process that cannot be rushed. Okay? No rushing. That's why it's important that you do the research. Will they give the baby this first opportunity? Will they take the time to let the baby move at his own rate? Okay?
A la misma vez, el contacto piel a piel va a estabilizar las hormonas de la mamá
At the same time, she's saying that the contact, the skin to skin contact, will also be stabilizing the hormones of the mother.
y a veces los hospitales dicen que se enfría el bebé, que si se enfría entonces pues le puede crear problemas, pero ciertamente cuando el bebé está piel a piel, la mejor incubadora es mi propio cuerpo. Por lo
Okay.
tanto, el bebé no se va a enfriar.
So sometimes doctors will say, oh no, we can't do it. The baby will get cold and that'll bring complications. But when the baby is skin to skin, that is the best incubator that you can provide for the baby. It will not harm him. ¿Quieres
Sí.
hablar de la boca? Mira cómo abre.
Sí, y entonces el bebito va abriendo la boca y va buscando ese proceso hasta que él mismo se prende solito. Es importante que no le pongamos guantecitos en las manos al bebé tampoco. Esto de ponerle guantes en las manos no es bueno
Okay,
porque lo
dame un segundo.
desorienta.
Okay, so she's saying that the baby will open his mouth to do the right placement if there's no rush. It's also very important not to put any gloves on his hands because that will disorientate him, okay? Leave it as natural as possible. Mhm.
Así mismo. Y entonces cuando ya se prende, es algo bien especial, ese contacto, ese acercamiento. Los bebés ven más o menos unas 6 pulgadas de distancia, no tienen un campo visual como tú y como yo. Es un campo, un espacio, ¿verdad? Reducido, pero como el pezón está oscurito, la mamá está cerca, la piel de la mamá, la respiración de la mamá, el contacto de esa mirada, todo eso se va a dar en este momento.
So this is when this beautiful moment occurs, okay? The baby's sight ability to see is about for 6 inches, okay? And God prepared everything perfectly. So that baby is about 6 inches. There's this looking, glazing into each other, this look of love. Everything is just right. Okay.
Mm.
Healthy, what the baby needs. Okay. He's not in Russia. He's not all of a sudden isolated. He is receiving a love glaze from mom. He's opening his mouth. He's just sucking on.
Sí, definitivamente cuando se prende, inmediatamente se desencadenan neurotransmisores y
Okay,
una
so
respuesta importante, ¿verdad? Para esa bajada de leche que ya está desde el
mhm,
embarazo.
right. So once the baby places his mouth, things are happening inside her body. Her body is being stimulated, okay? The neurological stimulation needed to for the milk to start to come out to has begun, all because the baby was placed at the right moment there, giving the opportunity of nature to take its place.
Esa primera leche se le llama la vacuna natural.
That first milk that comes out is called a natural vaccine.
Y el primer momento que mi bebé tiene inmunidad es tan pronto nace por la vagina y el próximo momento es el amamantamiento. Le crea esa primera microbiota importante, ¿verdad? De inmunidad natural,
So
que es
that
bien
first,
importante en este
okay,
tiempo.
the first immune vaccine protection that the baby receives is, as we said, when he has that vaginal birth. Okay, that's why it's important. Does your doctor believe in vaginal birth? And second, when that first breastfeeding that the baby has, both of them are producing a special immune injection for the baby. Mhm.
Importante que las mamás y la familia crean en el proceso natural. Nosotros no podemos esforzarlo, se está dando, somos mamíferos.
Okay. It's important that we believe that the family, that those that are surrounding, that those that are going to offer the support, believe in a natural process. Okay. Because if they believe in it, they will support it.
Ujú.
Now, let's see if I can get back to here. Okay.
En
Okay.
Puerto Rico nosotros tenemos también leyes que nos protegen.
In
Eh,
Puerto Rico, we have laws that protect us, and in the States, right?
sí, hay una ley que es la ley 79 de marzo del 2004
Okay.
y esa ley establece que todo bebé al nacer va a tomar leche materna.
Okay. In Puerto Rico, there is a law number 79 of March of 2004, that does specify that all child or baby that is born will be given breast milk. Okay. So, with this in mind now, I always like to relate this to the Bible. Okay. So, does the Bible speak at all
Ujú.
about breastfeeding? Okay. So I found about 20 different verses that had to do with breastfeeding. Only and more than breastfeeding, with the importance of the breasts. Okay? The breasts are not a sexual object. They were created by God with a purpose. They are for breastfeeding, but also when the baby is placed on the bosom, there's a calmness. As Astrid was saying, that skin to skin contact with mommy, but also with daddy. Okay? The kangaroo. Okay? All this is just a blessing. But let's go before my time is over. I, Isaiah 40:11. Like a shepherd, he will send his flock. In his arms, he will gather the lambs and carry them in his bosom. He will gently lead the nursing young ones. So when the Lord even refers to his people, when he refers to us as his lambs, okay, and he's the good shepherd, where will he carry us? In his bosom, okay, in his chest, okay. Numbers 11:12. Was it I who conceived all these people? Was it who brought them forth that you should say to me, carry them in your bosom, as a nurse carries a nursing infant to the land which you swore to their fathers. Holding that baby to your chest, cuddling him in your chest is one of the most beautiful gifts you can give to your baby. I was studying today about, and we don't have time, but do the research. Babies sleeping with moms when you're breastfeeding, okay? The benefit.
Mhm.
There's so much research. We think it's dangerous. We think something might happen. Look at the research. You will discover that it is a safe place for the baby. The smell of the baby, the smell of the mother. Okay, the baby knows how to accommodate itself. Okay, that's why God holds us also in his bosom. Okay, and with this, let's go on to the book, week 40. Okay, week 40. Okay, now in the book, let me see. I have to. Okay. Week 40. This is the way it is organized. Prayer guide for the physical development of the baby. Prayer guide for the spirit of the baby and for the soul of the others. But you will also find that, and I am not sure. Let me see. Am I good? Yes, you can see it, right? Let me see something. Yes. Okay. But you will also find prayers of confidence by the mother. The day of birth, the parents speak to the baby. Last week I spoke a lot to you about this. Speak to the baby. Get the baby ready for that day. Even tell the baby how safe it is, that the birthing process is a safe one, that does not need to be concerned. Okay, so let's in this time read the one of the parents speak to the baby. Hello, baby. This seems to indicate the day has come for your travel through the birth canal and arrival to our arms. Our beloved, don't be afraid of taking the leap. God is with you. He will strengthen you. Certainly, He will help and uphold you with His right arm in His justice. When you pass through the waters, He will be with you, shepherding and directing your path to our arms. While it is true that the process of birthing is a painful one for the mother, yet the joy of seeing you will erase from our mind all memory of the birthing pains. Come, come soon into our arms, dear baby. Amen. And with this, we thank Astrid for being with us today and for help supporting us. And we
Thank you.
remind you that every Friday at 7:30 in English, at 8 o'clock in Spanish, we are here to share with you. Next week, we will be our program will be dedicated to those of you who have not been able to be pregnant, who have been longing to have a baby. We will be praying to prepare your body. We will be speaking words of faith. And in April, we will have with us a couple who were not able to have children, who waited, I don't remember, about maybe 8 or 10 years. But today they do have two children. And I want them to share their testimony of faith with you. So, again, I will see you, Lord willing, next Monday at 7:30 in English and 8 o'clock in Spanish. If you have found this helpful, please let other people know about the videos that we do every week. And recommend my book, Pregnancy, The Best Time to Submerge Your Baby in Prayer. It is available in Amazon, Google Books, and Westbo. In Puerto Rico, it is available in Huellitas, Holy Land, Morada de Paz, and Plaza Las Américas, Casa Norberto. So, thank you for joining us, and Lord willing, we will see each other next Monday. May the peace of God be with you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, and